That's beautiful, Ezra.
Thank you.
You guys want to come outside with me?
Yeah, we're waiting.
Oh, you're waiting on me. Is that what's happening?
Is gone.
Are you coming, Ez?
Yeah. Why does coffee look
Hey, meet us out in the garden.
Okay.
Why does coffee look so good? Because it is, man. Somebody asked the other day on our live video how many hours a day we spend homeschooling. And you know, the kids that I have at home, Toby is 7. He's the oldest of the ones that are at home.
7.5.
He's 7.5. And then Ezra is 6. And Benjamin is 5, almost 5. And at this point, we don't spend hours a day having seat time. We do some structured curriculum, some writing and workbooks and that sort of thing. We do a lot of oral learning, which is us talking to them, teaching them, reading to them, and then a lot of hands-on stuff. So, I mean, we're homeschooling all throughout the day, but we're not sitting down in a structured setting all throughout the day, because that would be a lot with 3 small kids. And I should add, I don't think that it would be the most effective way for them to learn. I think a lot of times little kids need to be able to move, and they need to be able to have sensory learning and stuff like that. The thing I love about homeschool, and I was actually talking about this recently with my oldest son, who's 14, and he's actually in public school now, but he came home once and said, "Mom, do you know that most of the people that I know don't know how to cook?" And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he just found that very strange, that his peers largely did not know how to actually cook food and follow recipes and cook from scratch. And I told him, I was like, well, I guess that's the benefit of how much time you spent with me at home. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to homeschool to teach your kids how to cook, but I think that it is really important that we teach our kids life skills. And again, not just what to think, but how to learn. I think that's super important. Look at those. They're looking good, huh?
Yeah, I want to plant.
It's not poisonous, baby. It's lettuce.
I want to plant stuff.
You want to plant stuff. Do you know I actually have some garlic that needs to be planted? It's really late to be planting it, but we could go ahead and put it in the ground. Might as well, huh?
Okay,
you got the dibber, right?
What's garlic?
Garlic?
Oh, garlic!
Yeah.
These want help too. I'm going to help stab.
You're going to help stab. This sounds good. Okay, let's go into the basement and get the garlic for the kids to plant, and then I'm going to come out here and talk to you guys about thinning seedlings. Right now, whenever you get out at our house, you get out of the car, it smells like soil and wood smoke, and I'm not complaining about that at all. Okay.
The fire is not going so well.
The fire's not going so well?
Yeah. We should use the blower.
No, I don't think we need to use the blower. Let me just poke at it.
Yeah.
What?
Mostly plain.
Mostly plain? Well, I gotta decorate it. I just took the Christmas stuff down.
Didn't we put back out the candles?
Okay, so we're gonna get the garlic stuff.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this room is the storage room right now.
Mommy, I can hold it.
Okay, there's the garlic. All of Malia's stuff and all the overflow of my stuff, and then the music stuff, which is supposed to be in here, just got thrown in here when we remodeled. And we actually were doing the floor in Malia's room, so all her furniture's in here. Y'all, this is all Jeremiah's Lego ship collection. It's so cute. Alright, and I've got a bunch of flower bulbs down here too.
This is some garlic. This is a lot of garlic. This is garlic. Okay, Popster, you show up. You have to have a good day.
Who's a gardener?
Me.
I already have some garlic going in one of my square beds, and I have some more that I just didn't get around to planting. It's okay. It is a little late for me to be planting this, but of course our ground's not frozen. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it in the ground. The bulbs may be smallish. They might not have a whole lot of time to bulb up, or they may be a little later. But my theory on this is, since these garlic cloves, they've already started sprouting. And so they're no good for eating. And if we don't plant them, then they go bad. So if we plant them, we have more chances to get garlic than if we throw them in the trash. So we had a little bit of chaos going on, so we decided to take the approach of me poking the holes and then the boys putting the garlic in the holes. And this is working out a little better for us.
Mom, I need some more garlic.
We'll go, there you go. Gardening with little kids is definitely trial and error, a test in patience, and totally worth it. So sometimes you have to just take a breath through those chaotic moments and be like, okay, what's the solution? And usually I tell the kids in moments like that, because that just got a little bit chaotic. The camera wasn't on, but they were all trying to do the same thing, and then there's just holes being poked everywhere, and I was like, hold on a second. We want to do this job right because we want to have this garlic. And so let's think, what is a solution that we can all have a job, but we can also plant the garlic properly so that we can get a harvest. So we just kind of talk about it together, about how we really want to get a harvest so we can enjoy this delicious garlic. So we want to make sure that we don't get caught up in the moment of the excitement of planting, and we want to figure out the way to do it best. And so I suggested maybe I do the job of poking the holes, and then they can fill them all in with garlic, and then together they can cover them all up. And so we worked through the chaos, and we found a solution, and everybody's happy, and the garlic has a chance. So it's getting warm in here with the sun out. Actually, Maya is at the hardware store right now, and I asked him to pick me up another bag of soil so I can start some more salad greens. We'll just plant everything we have, okay? Because we're going through these a lot, and it's okay. Normally it's just like, well, we'll go through and we'll just eat as much as we can. But the kids have just taken to loving salads out of these bags, and that makes me happy. So I just want to grow more of them. Someone asked the other day, why not just grow the salad greens in the garden beds? I could do that and it would be fine. We are putting some covers over our garden beds. Right now we're having some problems with deer. I actually had a bunch of kale out in the garden beds, and it got eaten down to nubs because of the deer. So because of that, I'm gonna wait to put anything else out there until we have the row covers on, just for right now.
Mommy, I want to get a barrier when I'm done.
Okay. It's called a shovel. This is a good one. But be careful with it, it's really sharp. Or there's also this. You want this? Okay, be careful with that, okay? It's very sharp.
Okay.
Hey, I want y'all to make sure you bring my tools back in too, okay? I want all my tools put back in this box. The other thing with the salad greens is that I actually really like growing them under cover like this because they're so clean. There's no splashback, there's not any like bug stuff on them or anything like that. So I get to pick them out of here, and they're already really clean, and that's just nice. So my little sprouts are all coming up, and I always do this, and I always say I'm gonna stop, and then I don't. I always plant too many seeds because I'm like, well, if they don't germinate, I want to make sure that I have something come up. And I hate doing this. I hate having to thin them. I hate having to kill little sprouts because I think this could be a healthy plant. But if you don't thin them out, then they don't do as well. So what I do is I just come and clip them off with my thumbnail so that I have just one per container. Now you can, like, especially in instances like this where they're separated out, I could stick my finger out, pull this sprout out, and put it in a separate cup and just separate these. But I'm not going to do that because I planted as many as I wanted. Now with my seed collection, some of the seeds that I have are old. I still plant seeds that are like 6 or 7 years old. I've had them for a long time. And for the most part, they still germinate just fine. Some of the seeds that I get from swaps, and you have no idea how old those are when you're getting them from swaps. And so I tend to err on the side of caution and like throw a few extra seeds in there just in case. But then whenever I am planting from a new pack of seeds like these, most of these were Haas Tools seeds or Baker Creek seeds. I think there were some In My Gardener seeds, and they were all pretty new packs, and it looks like it was probably close to 100% germination on all of them, and so I'm wasting little sprouts. Now usually what I do is I just like, I just eat them. Little microgreen snack while I'm thinning. At least then they're not completely wasted. Now the exception to what I'm thinning is the beets, which they actually, most of them have not come up yet. There's a few that are starting to. I am not thinning the beets. I purposefully sowed those in clumps because I'm trying Charles Dowding's multi-sowing method. And so I will not be thinning those. However, a lot of these things are lettuces, kales, cauliflowers, things that I want to head up. And so I don't want them to be in clumps. I want them to be standing alone so that they can have enough space to grow big and strong. Now people will ask me sometimes, do I have to plant them thick? I hate killing seedlings. I hate thinning out seedlings. And the answer to that is absolutely not. Now here is a time that you might consider it, especially if I'm planting something that I only have like a limited amount of seeds to. Like if I have a whole pack and I have extra seeds, I might be a little bit more liberal putting a few in. For instance, like this time, all of these were for brand new packs of seeds that I had plenty of. And so I put a couple of seeds, 2, 3, sometimes obviously I have like 4 or 5 in each one. The reason why I went ahead and planted more liberally was because I know that I really need these to get up and get established because I want to move these out into the garden beds in the middle of February.
Mom,
what do you need, babe?
the bee was about to sting me.
I don't think it was about to sting you.
No, I saw a bee right next to me. And
she was probably just checking you out and curious about you. Usually if you're just real still and calm, they leave you alone.
I know when I was real still and calm, there's a bee on me.
Yeah, she might have thought you were a flower.
And then what do bees do when
they're just checking you out. If you're not aggressive to them, they're not going to be aggressive to you for the most part, okay? So just if you see a bee next to you, just remain calm, okay? So like I was saying, the reason why I went ahead and sowed a little more thickly was because I want these to get going. And basically what happens, let's say you put 1 seed per pot and then some of them don't germinate, then you just have to sow another seed in that pot, which is fine, but it might take a week or 2 to realize that that seed's not going to come up. And so since I want to get these going as soon as possible, I felt like at this point it would be better to sow a little extra and have to thin versus sowing a seed per pot and then waiting to see if I needed to resow. All right, you guys ready to go check out those baby pigs?
Yes! I don't know.
All right. These babies sure are big, aren't they?
Go over there and look at them.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, little mama. Hey, girl. You should have brought her some treats. Look how pretty her eyelashes are. Hey, lovely. Little Clementine, little mama. So we were a little concerned about how cold it was getting in the night, so Jeremiah came out on the suggestion of our friend Kaylee, who also keeps mangalitas over at the Honeystead. She's got a YouTube channel. And he just wrapped this around just to kind of keep the wind out of their hut to make sure that they were able to stay warm. Let's just take a little peep in there. Look at them. So some people were asking about the mangalitas if they got big because they were commenting on how small they seem. So here's Gerard. This is Daddy Pig, and as you can see with him next to the kids, he's a big guy. Not as big as me. He's much bigger than you, darling.
He looks as big as me.
He is not quite as big as some other heritage breeds, but he also may have just a little bit more time to grow. Jeremiah's actually at the hardware store right now getting some fencing stuff because we are actually expanding the pig yard and we're separating some of them out. Well guys, I'm about to head on in the house and do the things that need to be done in there, but thank you guys for hanging out with me today. God bless y'all. Until next time.